grow your own food, that seems to be a little bit intrusive.
Then you are home.
The Valley's News Talk and Podcast. Talk Central Phoenix.
It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show. Vámonos.
I love chips and salsa. Can I listen too?
You got it. Take it away. Eso.
Cameras up.
And we are back. Oh my goodness, this is a great show because it's going so quickly. I'm Alice Lara, aquí con
Don Jorge Alacran.
This is the Chips and Salsa Show. We are on Central City Radio. Download that free app. And we also broadcast via Talk Central Phoenix. We are thrilled and honored to have a wonderful guest. I got to meet this beautiful woman a few months ago, I guess, right? It's when we met her. Myra Rodriguez, who is I'm going to call you a Planned Parenthood. I have a new name for them. Banned Parenthood. I'd like to have them banned. Banned Parenthood whistleblower. I am going to let you, Myra. Welcome to Chips and Salsa Show. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much both for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here in the studio. You know, last time we talked, I was on the phone in my car in LA, and I think I have a few minutes on your radio show, so it's awesome to be here. Whistleblowing, it's hard to blow the whistle, especially against a corporation. We're going to call it a corporation.
That's better.
It's not an organization. They're a corporation, with so much money. But here we are. The truth prevails, and that's why I made my story.
And it's a fantastic story. I'm going to let her tell you it. Now, we have limited time, so she's going to give it to you in a nutshell. I've got to experience the entire thing, and if you ever have an opportunity to see her speak, and she's going to tell you what's coming up too, I urge you to go because it's phenomenal, and it gives you faith in humankind again.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I worked for Planned Parenthood here in Phoenix, Arizona for 17 years. I know, that sounds like a very long time, right? I was naive. I believe in their mission. I started working for them because they help women, and I was mostly at clinics that did not do abortions for 16
Myra,
years.
I'm going to totally interrupt you because just
my
go
hair.
like this with your hair so they can see your beautiful face.
My hair's always on my face.
There you go.
My hair's always on my
And
face,
that's the
guys.
camera. There you go.
So,
thank you.
I worked for Planned Parenthood for 17 years, most of those years at non-abortion clinics. And at the end of my time, I was promoted as the director of the abortion clinic, the biggest abortion clinic here in the state of Arizona, which is Glendale. At that point, I was already managing 3 clinics at the same time, Flagstaff, Northeast Phoenix, and Glendale, Arizona. What I saw there is what changed my mind and heart. When you are not on the abortion clinic, you don't get to see a lot of the details of what abortion is like, from the financials, from what is going on inside the clinic. You just believe on the my body, my choice phrase and letting a woman choose her reproductive rights, right? The romantic way to call abortion. There's no other way to say it. So what I discovered at the abortion clinic was that the abortionist was breaking rules and regulations that we have in place in Arizona to protect women. What I also discovered was the falsification of patient charts, the incomplete abortions, the complications go under the rug and never reported. Now, why is that so important? Because most people are like, well, all the doctors can make mistakes. Well, no. First of all, doctors don't get to make mistakes. But second of all, when complications happen, they're supposed to be reported, and that's where statistics come from. So if their doctors are not reporting, then statistics are fake, right? So I reported that. I got fired, and then I sued Planned Parenthood in the state of Arizona for wrongful termination under the Whistleblower Protection Act, and we won.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
Thank you so much for doing that. Wow. And now you are actually here in Phoenix now, in Arizona, rather.
Yes, I came back to Arizona. I lived in California for a couple years. That was too much, I must confess. So we moved here in Arizona. My beautiful husband and nice husband just went like, okay, let's go to Phoenix. It's more calm, and now we're here. I call this my home. I was born in Mexico City, but I call Phoenix my home because I have lived here for like 28 years. So I feel like I finished it.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of Mexico City, you were just there recently.
Yes, and the reason why I went to Mexico, so first of all, I want to share with you that this was the first time since I moved to this country that I go back to my hometown, which was Mexico City. And the reason I went there, which by the way, I went on October 3rd of 2017 is when I got fired from Planned Parenthood. And on October 3rd of 2021, I went back to Mexico City to speak in front of thousands of people, Alice. When I say thousands, it's like the final count was like 600,000 people, biggest crowd I ever spoken in front of. And what was this massive march from? Over a million of people came out all over the country in let's say a protest, yes, but to show the government, because they pulled the Roe versus Wade Mexican, which is the Supreme Court that penalized abortion and now literally will force even doctors to perform abortions because they remove their conscience too. So for example, if a doctor is Catholic, Christian, does not believe in abortion, he will be forced to perform the abortions in Mexico. Wow. So, yeah, shocking, right? Most people will be like, what do we care, Myra? We're in America, right? It's like a big line that separates our country. We should care, you know? One part of my mission is to unite the pro-life movement. And not by me, by myself, obviously, like with a bunch of us that are on the pro-life movement, to make understand that the pro-life movement is worldwide, right? That the abortion industry is attacking us all the same, no matter the country. But why do we care about our neighbor? Because of the same other reasons, but same reason why we care about immigration, the same way we care about the drug dealing issue, the same way we care about the human trafficking, same issue, because Planned Parenthood will expand their business in Mexico and open a clinic at every border town. So let's say that we finally push a bill like Texas here in Arizona, right? What's next? Planned Parenthood opening clinics in the border town in Nogales. So then our kids will not only go to Puerto Peñasco, Rocky Point partying, but they will also seek abortions over there. How is that dangerous? I reported an abortionist in a state that is very conservative, right? Mm-hmm. We can say we're conservative towards abortion. We can say our government, even our still elected officials, are a bit more into the conservative side of abortion. And this doctor was getting away with literally murder, right? Because that's what Planned Parenthood does. They get away with a lot of things. And what I've reported, at least, I mean, I can promise you that when I got fired, I was like, it might just be this abortionist. It might just be this Planned Parenthood in Arizona, right? It cannot be they're all this evil or bad. I come out, like I told you, I come out of the closet, right? And then I get to meet other people, that former abortion workers from not only from the United States, but other parts of the world. It's the same story at every abortion clinic. It's not only this abortionist, this is what they do. This is what the abortion industry do. Because one thing we need to get clear is there's no safe abortions. They can never be a safe abortion. No matter who the doctor is, no matter how the clinic is, they can never be a safe abortion. So they despenalize abortion in Mexico to make it safe and legal, right? And the only reason is they did it so they can help Planned Parenthood expand their business. Because I know I have mentioned this before, but Planned Parenthood, also known as International Planned Parenthood Federation in the world, has more affiliates than McDonald's locations, and our tax money from here not only pays for abortions in our home nationwide, domestically, but they pay for abortions across the border, open seas, and every other country. So people get shocked when I say that, but I'm like, your tax money is not only paying for abortions here, it's also paying for abortions in Mexico, in Latin America, anywhere where Planned Parenthood has been and has an affiliate. So
it's so awful to hear that, but I know that there's hope. People like you that are out there and doing things. Let the person that maybe is for the first time they've heard this, maybe they knew it didn't register. What can you advise them to do at their level? They're busy, everybody's working, doing their things. What's something simple that they can do?
Well, since we still have that freedom of praying outside the clinics, if you can join us during the 40 Days for Life vigils, I'll be this Friday at my old clinic in Glendale, Arizona for the candlelight vigil, participating with the Glendale 40 Day for Life Glendale leaders, and then we will be praying to end abortion. That's a way to pray. Another way is to support your local pregnancy crisis center. I cannot tell you enough. The pro-life movement needs more money because Planned Parenthood has a lot of money. I mean, that's not shocking, right? So we need more money. We need to support our pro-life candidates. We need to support our pro-life community. We need to support women and tell them that empowering them, it's not telling them go and have an abortion. A real empower to women to tell her, you can do this. You can finish college with your kid. You can finish high school with that baby. You can get a job and have your kids, and we will help you, because that's what the pro-life community does.
And just like Moses was talking, there's a lot of resources out there. So support them and tell your friends about them, people that might need them. You also have a podcast you were telling us about.
I do. It's in Spanish.
Ándale.
It's in
Habla español
Spanish.
si quieres.
Yeah, it's in Spanish, and we have it every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Mexico City, 12 p.m. our time here. And usually I invite pro-life activists from all over the world, book writers, they have podcasts, they're pro-life activists, they're in the pro-life world, they're against all this kind of agenda that is going on in the world today, and I think people will find it very interesting. We try to keep it animated and fun and everything. It's on a Facebook fan page, Creciendo Contigo Mujer, Un Grito al Cielo.
Awesome. Okay, we've got 1 minute left.
Can I ask one
If
question?
yes, and let me just ask you real quick. If we take a break, can you stay with us a little longer? I know you got to go. If you need to go, you got to go, and you can always come back another time.
I can do another 5 minutes.
All
We
right.
can do a question.
Okay. So, okay, we'll keep it going for another few minutes. Go for it.
My question is, how about the business of the selling of body parts and the selling of tissue? How does Planned Parenthood is very big on that, right? I mean, you saw that.
The abortion industry is very big on it. I mean, thankfully here in the state of Arizona, it's not allowed, right? It's allowed in many other different states like California, New York, and many other countries. Canada is really big
But
on
what
it.
stops them from taking it from here and taking it to California?
Well,
In vials and stuff.
exactly. That we don't know, right? According to Governor Doug Ducey, he wouldn't let that happen, right? But you're right. The abortion industry does not waste anything. It's about money. That people need to understand this. Abortion, it's about money. It's a business. It's not about controlling population, because honestly, if they wanted to control the population using abortion, they will do a lot better with sterilization, right? But they don't sterilize women because they need the abortions. They need the fetal embryo cells. They need the arms and legs. They need all the tissue. If I invite you to follow the Pro-Life San Francisco page, this young group that attacks the San Francisco University for their experimentation on embryos and on babies that have been aborted up to 26 weeks. Right now, they're fighting against the experimentation with the genitalia of babies up to 26 weeks. Like, why do they want to do that? Like, what do they get behind that? So, I mean, I could name, but I don't want to get your show blocked. All the pharmaceutical companies that get rich behind this, and how Planned Parenthood. Unfortunately, this trafficking of baby parts, it's legal. It's an organized crime.
Wow.
Oh, after that, how do you... It's amazing. I mean...
I hear they put it in shots, and the shots that they give you for the COVID.
You're really trying to get us banned again, huh?
Yeah, they
Badge
just call
of
it.
honor.
They just call it pinchazo. That's how we do. So we don't say any keywords.
Sorry.
Well, when I did meet you, it was a showing of the movie Unplanned, which I always like to mention that, because if you haven't watched that movie, please, I beg of you, watch Unplanned. And if you're not a pro-life person and you watch that movie,
You
and
will be.
still aren't, see some help. That's all I can say.
Yes,
Oh.
I mean, in Unplanned, it's a movie out of my friend, Abby Johnson. I'm glad to call her my friend. I'm very proud. Abby Johnson, she has created And Then They Were None, which is an organization that helps former abortion workers. What you find in And Then They Were None is this healing that there's always been help from the pro-life community for former abortion workers. Always. We cannot deny that, right? But what she created was a place for you to talk about things that usually you can't talk with other people, because you will get this eye look of, and then you are free here. You don't feel any judgment. You know that the other person that's in front of you or next to you has gone through the same thing you have, so you feel like a sisterhood. So we call it a tribe, or brotherhood. There's guys too. So we call it a tribe. So then that way we don't have to get into the details of genders, but you find your tribe, and she did that along with other her ministries, and that moment, when I saw her movie, and a lot of people were like, it's like your story, we were both Employee of the Year award, we were both very loyal employers, and then we both went against them in court, right? She did for different reasons that I did. So, and then you're like, yeah, very similar story, right? Well, yeah, that's just to tell you this is what Planned Parenthood does. That's what they do to employees.
And Myra, there should be a movie about your story because it's amazing. Okay.
Homemade in Arizona.
Yeah, there you go. We got about 30 seconds. Want to give your information?
Yes, you can follow me on social media, the real Myra Rodriguez. There's too many Rodriguez, as you must know. I had to add the real Myra Rodriguez. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram. I have a YouTube channel, Myra Rodriguez, and like I say, I have a radio show on Creciendo Contigo Mujer, Un Grito al Cielo. And I do events a lot. I try to stay busy. I try to do a lot of Instagram lives, Zooms, anything, I just went to ASU like a couple weeks ago with Students for Life. I like to work closely with Students for Life because those kids are amazing. And like I said, this Friday, you can join us at the Candlelight Vigil mid-rally for the 40 Days for Life campaign in Glendale at the Planned Parenthood Glendale.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming in today. We look forward to having you on again, and we'll see you out there in political land. Thank you for all you do, Myra. Honor and pleasure to know you. Alice Lotta here with
Don Jorge, Mr. Big Mouth here.
Yeah. We'll be right back with the rest of the show, and thank you, Myra. We'll
thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Walk on. Don't go away.
The Valley's home for podcasts,